What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Crash Blade Gaming. I am your host, Crash, and today we're taking a look at a Snorlax control deck. So one of my favorite Pokemon, and he's a controller guy, so it's really good. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this deck works out. It's kind of actually easy enough to pilot that it's not like a crazy control deck, but it has basically one strategy. Stick your opponent in the active spot. Hopefully they can't attack you and you win. A lot of decks do not play a lot of switching outs, so that's why this deck works. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and roll into the Pokemon question of the day. Alright, everybody, we got some housekeeping for the Pokemon question of the day. But before we get into that, we have to go over last video's question. We had a lot of participation in last video's question, which is really good. So, last video's question was, what is the evolution of Smoliv? And if you went ahead and guessed Dolliv, Dolliv is the evolution of Smoliv, which then, of course, evolves into Arboliv, the final form, which is pretty cool. But I didn't want to give the final form as the answer. I wanted to do secondary form, make it a little bit tricky, I suppose, but Dolliv is the correct answer. So congratulations to Prejudice, Linked, Band. You guys all earned a point on this one. And Linked, that gives you 3 points. So you have won the first place prize. You will be receiving some code cards via Twitter as soon as I get around to it, of course. So keep that in mind. That's awesome for you. Congratulations to Linked. Now we're running for the second place prize, which is looking like it's going to be between Prejudice and Band Socks. You guys both have 2 points, so the first person to earn their way to 2 points will get themselves some code cards. And Robert, thank you for participating in the Pokemon question today. You did guess Arboliv, which is a good guess, but I was looking for Dolliv. It is the evolution of Smoliv anyways, but keep trying. You will be able to win some code cards in the future eventually. All right, with that said, let's get into this video's question. What is the final evolution of the Pokemon you get from a CEL fossil? Go ahead and put your answer in the comment section down below. You will receive a point for the correct answer once you get to 3 points, or we're going to have a reset soon. So, once you get to 3 points, you will win some prizes. The first 2 people to get 3 points will win some code cards on Pokemon TCGL, and then the points reset and we start all over and start asking some more questions. And that's basically the rule. So yeah, while you're down there in the comment section, go ahead and like the video. If you are enjoying the content, leave a comment to let me know how I am doing. Maybe I can improve some things. It does take me a little bit of time to improve like some backgrounds and stuff like that. I am currently working on the deck list background, trying to make it a little bit more cool, I suppose, a little bit more informative. And I have some suggestions from that as well. So thank you for everybody who suggested that. Anyways, enough about me talking. Let's just go, next part of the video, see what's going on. Deck list time. It is time to show the Snorlax from the Pokemon Go set with the block ability. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon cannot retreat. Which, in this day and age, is not a bad ability, especially because a lot of decks only play 1 or 2 switching options, no more Bird Keeper, and then they're just kind of stuck unless they boss orders out of a Snorlax, but you play enough to know that we are going to not let that happen very often. So, how do we get this deck going? Well, we have a few tech cards in here to help us with certain matchups, like Radiant Tsareena to help us heal 20 damage. Some decks will have to hit us, but we want to get the Pokemon that hits us with the least amount of damage. Radiant Tsareena will help us heal off that damage from our Pokemon. We're also playing a sneaky copy of this Manaphy here with the Pulling Currents attack. For 1 water energy, our opponent reveals their hand, and we can put up the 2 basic Pokemons we find there onto our opponent's bench. So, if they're playing Drapion or Lumineon, or any Pokemon that is matchup specific that we don't, that won't hit us, we put them on the bench and then our opponent's kind of screwed from there. So that's why that Manaphy is in here. We're also playing a copy of a Rotom V with the instant charge ability. Really need this in the early game so that we can draw our cards. We're not doing a lot by the end of the turn. We're definitely not attacking, so instant charge is a good ability for us to have. Of course, we're playing 2 copies of the Yveltal with the Cryo Destruction attack, so we can discard up to 3 special energies from our opponent's Pokemon. This is useful for Mew, for Lugia, any decks that are playing special energies. Yveltal is a good option. We also have Miltank. Miltank is good against Pokemon V, so it's a way to stall. We're a stall deck, really, so it's a way to stall our opponent as long as we can, so that's why we got the Miltank. We also have Pidgeot V. This is so that we do not deck out. It has the ability of Vanishing Wings once during our turn. If this Pokemon is on our bench, we can shuffle it and all cards attached to it into our deck, so that way we don't ever deck out. Now, as for the item cards, pretty straightforward. We have 1 Battle VIP Pass. We don't want to stick with too many Battle VIP Passes just because, well, It's a dead card, really, if it's not on the first turn. You can also get rid of Battle VIP Pass if you want to. But anyways, 4 cross switchers, 1 Echoing Horn. We want to stick the bad Pokemon into the bench. 4 cross switchers so that we can basically guarantee ways to boss up opponent's active Pokemons and things like that. 1 Energy Search. This helps us get that Manaphy attack off if we need to with that water energy. A Heavy Ball. Of course, we need Heavy Ball. We're playing all basics, and each basic is crucial in the deck for different things. We got 4 copies of Nest Ball as well, 1 Pal Pad, 4 copies of Pokégear, and 3 copies of Pokemon Catcher. Couple of switching cards, couple of Temple of Sinnoh to also shut down some special energies as well. You will notice that our supporter line is not very draw heavy. This is why Rotom V is very important, and you need to be able to draw these cards quickly. We have 4 Arven, of course. This allows us to get an item and a Pokemon tool from our deck, so we can get a Nest Ball and a Forest Seal Stone to get a Pidgeot if we need to. And also it helps us get out our Pot Helmets as well. For our Snorlaxes, they take 30 less damage from our opponent's Pokemon, which is really good. Some Pokemon do hit 150 really easily, but Pot Helmet does help negate that damage. And it will make other Pokemon hit 0, you know, just in case. We have 3 double turbo energies and 1 water energies. The energies are only in here for Manaphy and Yveltal. Other than that, these energies play no part in the deck, so keep that in mind. We also have 2 copies of Misfortune Sisters, which is sneaky good in this deck. When your opponent starts getting low on cards, we can use Misfortune Sisters to mill them out, get rid of those item cards. And if we know that they're digging for a switch and they didn't get it, and they're like a couple cards off, hopefully Misfortune Sisters is in your hand. You can use it and discard that switch. Another reason why those guys are in there. 1 copy of Cyllene because this is a control deck. A control deck would not be a control deck right now without Cyllene being able to flip 2 coins and putting some cards back into your hand. Of course, we have Peonia and Team Yell's Cheer, just more ways to loop cards and get cards out of your prizes and basically just win the deck from there. So yeah, this is a control deck. We are basically just trying to stall our opponent in the active, not being able to attack us, and that's how we win, by deck out or they concede, whichever comes first. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch this deck in action. Regidrago, huh? Okay. This will be a bit tricky. Let's see if we can get a Pokemon stuck in their active spot. Well, no, they do have Duraludon, so Miltank doesn't help that much, unfortunately. But we have a boss's order starting out, so that's really good. We can hopefully stick something in the active after they use some of their switching cards, of course. That's the only downside to the deck is switching cards. Ooh, there's an Arceus. Okay, so they're playing Arceus at Regidrago, which is fine. We get another Heads. Goodra V-Star, they'll discard that for sure. Ultra Ball. Ooh, Garchomp. 220 to one of our bench Pokemon. Ultra Ball for a second Arceus V? Do they already have V-Star in hand, I suppose? They miss an energy drop, that's good for us as well. Okay, they did. Perfect. Let's go ahead and play the Heavy Ball, see if we have any of our basics prized. Yveltal will be funny, because I can discard their double turbos next turn if they attach, so that's hilarious. Let's go with Nest Ball, and we're going to grab, like, I guess a lot of my cards are reloading here. We're going to grab the Rotom for now, so I can draw some more cards later. Pokégear again. Can go with Arven. Arven seems good. Play down the Arven. We'll grab another Nest Ball. And, oh, we prized the Forest Seal Stone. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, we'll take the Pot Helmet out the deck, which is fine. Nest Ball grabs us another Snorlax. And then we just instant charge. Probably should have checked the deck for the other prizes as well. There's Penny, so we can pick up Rotom if we need to, which is good. Manaphy would have been nice, but they've played down plenty of bench Pokemon, so no need to do that. There's a Lumineon, which is always a good target, except it has a 1 retreat cost, but it's okay. Usually they won't be attacking with Lumineon. Path to the Peak and Purloin. So I'm surprised they Ultra Ball for another Arceus and not a Arceus V-Star, but I guess they pulled it off anyways. There's one switch down. I don't know how many switches they're playing, but they're playing enough switches. Eventually they're going to run out. Eventually we're going to stick something in the active. So, I think we're okay. Regidrago's all powered up. This Arceus cannot retreat. This Arceus also would have a hard time KOing us. But I think we're going to go ahead and use a boss now. And we can bring up the Lumineon. And then just insta-charge. Flannery is cool. We can discard their double turbo from Arceus. Cross Switcher is good too. They do have Starbirth here, which is fine. This will help them get out of this. But I mean, the sooner that I get them to do their stuff, the better. Hopefully they don't go after Rotom though. They could get like Switch Boss. And they could KO Rotom. Yep, they have Goodra in the discard to KO him. They also have Garchomp, which I don't have a Manaphy down. We're not playing the Manaphy to guard the bench. An Escape Rope. Okay, we'll just give you the other Snorlax. Maybe I should have given Rotom Judge. No! Not a Judge. Another Snorlax is great though. That's good. However, we don't have a way to get this Draco out of here. They did not use the Garchomp's ability, so that's good. That's good. We're still here. We can still get this Lumineon stuck in the active. Hopefully. That's 2 switching cards they are down. So we gotta keep that in mind. There's a cross switcher. Let's go ahead and Pokégear. Guess we just grab Clara here. And bench a Snorlax. There's no real reason to play Clara, so we're just going to instant charge. Gotta give up another Snorlax, which is okay. And there's a boss's orders, so that's good. We can boss's orders next turn. We have switching card just in case they are able to switch again and KO something. Their V-Star power is gone. Ultra Ball, we have more cards. There goes Duraludon and what was it? Another Goodra? Why are you playing 2 Goodras, my boy? I guess they want to really guarantee the Goodra. Cool. The only way they could pick up Lumineon is with a Penny. So we have to keep that in mind. Battle VIP Pass, useless card. Let's go ahead and boss up the Lumineon. They can't retreat. And then we just instant charge. We're trying to find the other Penny so that I can pick up the Rotom, which is good. We just found it. So we're either going to Clara or Penny next turn so I can pick up this Rotom because they have taken 2 prizes. They are 4 prizes down. They might have a boss's orders. There's a Tsareena. Dang it, there goes the Rotom. That's what I was afraid of. That's how they can switch very easily. And now they go down to 2 prizes remaining. Which is no bueno. Wanted to pick up the Rotom earlier, but I just didn't get a chance to. Which is fine. And we'll see if we can stall from here. Giving up 2 prizes kind of sucks. An Arven off of this Pokégear would be great. Or we top deck an Arven. Actually, the problem is I don't know if I have another Snorlax in the deck. We're down 2. We do, right? I played Heavy Ball at the beginning, so we do have another Snorlax. So I can... Oh, no, no, no. I need a cross switcher. I can't play cross switcher because I would have to give him the Tsareena. Actually, no, I can still play cross switcher. Let's get the cross switcher. Oh, I don't have to. I can just play it. Oh, perfect. Bring up Lumineon. Well, I'm cool with that. And if they don't have anything, if they don't have a way to retreat, we are good. I have another turn to find things. I can Clara next turn to get back some Snorlax, and they concede it because they don't have another way to retreat. And that's how you win with the Snorlax block, baby. Ooh, Lost Box. Perfect. Okay. We're just gonna attach the Pot Helmet and pass the turn. But this means that they have... Lost Box is tricky. Very, very tricky, because they do have a lot of switching cards. So we have to have double Snorlax in play. So... and we have to stick Pokemon in the active that are tough to get out, but we'll see. They have... at most, they have 12 switching outs, right? 4... what are they called? 4 switch carts, 4 switch, 4 escape rope. And then there's Beach Court, but Beach Court doesn't matter because we block switching. So they have to have switching cards. We could also get Manaphy down with this Irida and see if we can stick a bunch of Comfies in play. It's possible to, like, kind of bench lock them in a sense with Pokemon that aren't really that good. Maybe. We can also have Penny Loops. Cramorants don't do much. They get rid of an energy and a Beach Course Grass energy. So this is the Giratina build. I would suspect there's a Battle VIP Pass, so that doesn't help us in the case of getting Manaphy and putting things down, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. The problem is, though, is also Giratina puts things in the Lost Zone for them, so bossing and stalling Giratina isn't the best option either. The best thing is to stall the Comfies, I suppose, because Cramorant can attack, or no, Sableye, an early Sableye could. Sableye does attack, but not enough damage to really, like, threaten us too much. We can always loot pennies. We can always switch Snorlaxes. Actually, with Pot Helmet, we're not taking any damage. Greninja is also another option. They can only attack with Greninja so much. So there's that. Flower Select, that'll get them 3 cards in the Lost Zone. Another thing is, like, I hope they just mill through their deck themselves. Also, Misfortune Sisters does help hit some of those switching cards. So we have to strategically play Misfortune Sisters as well. So we can hit these item cards and get them out of the deck. I know they already have some switching cards, and I want them to play them earlier rather than later, when we're actually stalling. But they don't have to. They already got a Comfy in the Lost Zone. So right now our best bet is to play Irida and grab a Quick Ball and get Rotom down so we can draw some more cards. There's the Comfy switch. So that's one switch down. We have to keep in mind how many of these they've played. One switch is good to see gone. There went to Giratina, which is fine. See, so if we stalled like a basic Giratina, they just 1 energy and they can do 2 Comfies essentially. There's the other Giratina. Okay. I don't want to stall Giratina, I want to stall Greninja. And I want to stall Comfy. So I don't mind Comfies being the active, I don't mind Greninjas being in the active. There's another switch, they're going into Cramorant early. Which is fine. This takes, what, 30 less damage? 80? So Cramorant does 2-shot us, unfortunately. We did top deck another Snorlax, which is huge. So we'll play Snorlax. And if I get an Arven, I don't know if that helps too much. We can afford to lose a Snorlax here. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll pull that out, and we can grab a Quick Ball, or a Nest Ball, sorry. Do we have Rotom in the deck? We do. Okay. Orsil Stone's in there, Temple of Sinnoh. Okay. Got some double turbos, which aren't going to be much. Tsareena would be a good pick here, too. Tsareena would deny them the prize. Because I can heal 20. If I heal 20, that puts me at 90, which is awesome. Maybe I do. We can get Rotom next turn, possibly? I think this is good. We can Elegant Heal, deny them the prize, and then next turn we can either Penny or we get Arven off of the Pokégear. And we can still be fine. They have to have a switch out for Cramorant so they can start getting their Lasso and stuff going, or they can just keep trying to attack Cramorant. They've only used one switching card, so it's a little bit tricky. This is Lost Box is always the trickiest matchup. There's another Nest Ball. What are they grabbing here? Hopefully a Sableye. I would love to boss a Sableye. Bossing Sableye would be fantastic. Nope, they just check their deck, keeping track of how many switching cards they have, maybe. Pokégear. As long as they're playing cards and getting things, I'm fine with it. Of course, the experiment is good for them, not that good for us. Hopefully they lost out some switching cards. That's really all we're looking for. I would love to pick up the Snorlax, though. And they could have a Lost Vacuum or Pot Helmet and take a KO. That would set me back a little bit. I wouldn't enjoy that very much. So hopefully they don't do that. They're down to 31 cards already, almost halfway through their deck, so we're looking okay. They haven't taken a prize yet. We denied them a prize if they don't have a Lost Vacuum. So we're just like keeping our fingers crossed. They lose an Escape Rope. That's good. So they're down one switch, one Escape Rope, which means they have 10 switching options left. Possibly. Switching cards, more Escape Ropes, and more switches. I wonder, like, I would love to Google this deck and see how many switching cards they're playing. That would be lovely. Just so I know what I'm dealing with. We always have to have 2 Snorlax in play because of Escape Rope as well. I have a tough decision next turn. Do I... Okay, that's fine. Okay, there's another Escape Rope down, which is good. I think they're going to try to go for the Sableye play. 2 Escape Ropes are gone. 6 cards in the Lost Zone. They still need 4 more. What was that? A Nest Ball? They still have 3 switches, 2 Escape Ropes, 4 switching cards possibly. They don't attack this turn though. That'd be good too. Mirage Gate. Uh-oh. Greninja can KO our Snorlax. No, can it? Pot Helmet. 3rd less damage from attacks. Greninja cannot KO our Snorlax. That's 2 more cards off the deck though. They're down to 20. Ooh, they attached to Giratina. Getting Giratina ready to go. Giratina is ready to go. Are they going to burn another switch? They are. Perfect. It's going to be tricky. They're going to have a lot of switching options. Another double turbo. That does not help us at all. Let's do Pokégear. Ugh. This doesn't help us either. Now we're stuck. Now I don't have Rotom, which makes this a little bit more tricky. They easily have a switching option in their hand. I can give them a Manaphy for a turn. We'll boss the Radiant Greninja and pass. If they play Escape Rope, they can have Manaphy. We can keep healing our Snorlax. Unfortunately, Giratina has a shred attack, so Giratina actually does KO a Snorlax with a Pot Helmet, unfortunately. Does just enough damage. Peonia might help us next turn if we're able to play it. Look at our prize cards and see what we want. Well, 3 of them at least. But yeah, tricky matchup. They're down 4 switching options. No, 3. Ooh, 3 switches are gone. And 2 escape ropes. That's 5 switching options. Okay. They probably still play switching card. They do boss here. They're going to boss the Radiant Tsareena, which is fine. Beach Court comes into play, give them free retreats. They don't have to use one of their switching options. That's okay. We don't have a way to stick something in the active, though. And there's a shred. Okay. Top deck, a Nest Ball would be fantastic. Top deck something would be good. Something good. Battle VIP Pass does not help. Best bet is just to play Peonia and pray we get something good here. Look at the first 3 prizes. Put back double turbos. And Battle VIP Pass. Now, unfortunately, I can't use any of these cards, which is really bad. Next turn, I can Clara, though, get back 2 Snorlaxes. Possibly top deck a Cross Switcher. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If I top deck a Nest Ball, we have 3 left in the deck. That would be good. It'd be really, really good. Sableye. They are getting Sableye ready. They are 7 cards in the Lost Zone, so they could theoretically get Sableye going. They've used 1 boss, right? They probably have 1 more, so they can boss around a Snorlax at some point. They're down to 15 cards, though. Oh, Drapion would be great to get stuck, but they lost zone the Drapion. Bummer. Huge bummer. Sealed cards, they go down to 8. We've got plenty of cards. Still have to take 4 prizes, though. Sableye can get them multiple prizes. And shred in the Snorlax. Okie dokie. Miltank. Miltank does not help. I mean, do we Clara here? Let's see. Arven can get me Nest Ball or Silstone, which I can use on Pidgeot, which could then get me what? Nothing that really helps too much. And I can't stick anything because of Beach Court. So let's bench the Miltank. Let's Clara. Grab back our Snorlaxes or Radiant Tsareena. We'll do Snorlaxes. We have free retreat with Manaphy, which is cool. But we don't actually care. So we'll pass. Next, oh man, this is so tricky. It's just, Lost Box is a really hard matchup for this deck, I think. Simply because they play so many switching outs. This is like the bane of the deck. So many switching outs. And they're not evolving into Giratina V-Star either, which is like, dude, come on. Let me utilize my Miltank. Okay. How many cards do you have in the Lasso? You have 9. So Sableye can come on next turn. Okay. So now we can boss Greninja. They probably have a way to switch, unfortunately. So let's see. I can Arven, grab Nest Ball, Cross Switcher, and Pidgeot. Let's do that. So, Nest Ball, or Seal Stone. And then I can go grab Pidgeot. Oh, I wanted Rotom. That's really who I wanted. But it's too late for Rotom. This also gets a lot of cards out of our deck too, which is cool. Another Cross Switcher. And then we can Vanishing Wings, get this guy out of here because they could just boss it and KO it. And then Cross Switcher, just get this Greninja up here. Go up with the other Snorlax. Hopefully the Greninja sticks. Might be able to miss Fortune Sister our opponent, but they have a really large chance. They probably have another boss to get the Miltank, and then they can just retreat into Greninja, unfortunately. But we have a boss of our own. But them being able to hold on to more of their switching options helps them. Down 3 switches and 2 escape ropes. They're not playing any... I haven't seen any switching cards. So maybe they're not playing switching cards. Maybe it's a 3-3 escape rope switch. I don't know. I haven't seen any switching cards. Beach Court is in play, so a boss would get them out of this. There's the escape rope. Okay, that's a 3-3 escape rope. They're probably going to come up with Grantina. We have a boss to get Greninja again, and then it's basically just down to, do they have an additional switching out? Or boss's orders? Which they most likely do. Our opponent is a very good player in not evolving the Giratina V-Star and just doing shreds. Shreds are really good. A Flannery does not help, but we can boss. Bring up the Greninja again, pass the turn, and see if they have it. Took them a while to play that escape rope, though. Took them a really long time to play that escape rope, so I don't know. Mirage Gates, they're checking what's left in their deck. They need one more switching option. Or boss's orders. They could concealed cards to see if they can grab it. Misfortune Sisters might be clutch here. We can mill the top 4. Well, we can look at the rest of their deck and see what they have as well. So next turn, if they whiff here and they don't attack us, we can Misfortune Sisters to see what they got. Oh, 2 of those cards were energies. Okay. They have 3 cards left. 2 of them were energy. We can Misfortune Sisters to see, do they have another water energy for Greninja to attack? If they do, I might have to consider using Penny. Actually, it wouldn't matter, right? They would hit Snorlax and Miltank. Clara gets them their water energy. Okay, so Penny doesn't really matter here. Simply because they would KO either one either way. Because I don't have a Pot Helmet. Oh my goodness, they conceal cards. Do they have a way to put cards back in their deck? Because if that last card's an item, I win. Oh my goodness. If that last card's an item, I win. And I have to go for it. Oh, it's a Giratina V-Star. No! Dang it! Oh, that would have been so clutch, bro. That would have been so clutch if that was an item card. Oh, it wasn't. It was not an item card. It was not an item card. Dang it! There's the boss. And they can just retreat into Giratina V. Wonder, did they play a supporter last turn? So close there. So close. If that last card was an item card, we would have won there, folks. But this goes to show Lost Box does beat up this Snorlax blocks deck. But hey, we did our best there. We got them down to 0 cards. Alright, folks. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. You watch us speed up. on an Arceus Regidrago deck who only had 2 switching outs, which is what we look for. And then we came really, really, really close to a Lost Zone deck that has a ton of switching outs that we almost won. If there was an item card at their last card in the deck, we would have won that game, which was so close, right? We were almost there. But anyways, I appreciate you guys sticking out to the end of the video, and we'll see you next time on Crash Play Gaming.